Hello, this is Hoshi ASMR, and this is Xenogears, an epic that never stood a chance against time. So what makes a great game? The graphics? The story it tells? Maybe it's the mechanics? After many games, there's one game that I constantly think about, and it's never been matched when it comes to a story that was deep enough to leave me thinking for many years. Xenogears was meant to be a grand epic, a story that follows a character through his quest to discover who he is and the secrets that surround him. Early on, we get a glimpse of a spaceship that is going down with no explanation of why or what's going on. This leaves us wondering how this connects to the game and the characters, which is a theme we will see throughout the game and directly is connected to one person, Fei Fangwang, and his fractured memories. Xenogears is absolutely a game with a rich story and a lot of character development. Unfortunately, the game was met with some difficult times during development. The director, Tetsuya Takahashi and Kaori Tanaka, first came out with the concept for the game when they were pitching the story for Final Fantasy VII, but was quickly turned down with the excuse that it was too dark and complicated for a fantasy. This led to them being allowed to work on the game on the side, but since it wasn't the main game in development, and the development for Final Fantasy VII was happening at the same time, it meant the team didn't have a big budget or crew to make it as envisioned by Tetsuya Takahashi and Kaori Tanaka. Due to the limitations they had to cut some corners and make what they could with the deadline they had. Nevertheless, they did a fantastic job. In my opinion, I think it was kind of a blessing. They wanted to have 3D characters, but with the money issues and the time that they had, they went with pixel. But the environments were made in 3D, which I think came out way better. And the style is just its own. In my opinion, like I've said, even better than what they envisioned. The game shows the passion and love Tetsuya Takahashi and Kaori Tanaka had for their game, and the story that was developed. Just to show how grand this epic was meant to be, Xenogears the game was actually meant to be episode 5 of the series, with a total of 6 episodes. Of course, the game battles the topic of religion and psychology, which at the age of 13 left me always in a deep state of thought. Kaori Tanaka brings up the topics during an interview, saying the works of Nietzsche, Freud, and Jung happen to be part of the common interest I shared with Takahashi. Xenogears is basically a story about where do we come from, what are we, where are we going. In that respect, we were inspired by those concepts a lot. And on the topic of religion, which a lot of the game is heavily inspired by, Kaori Tanaka also said, regardless of differences in religion, I've always had a deep interest in the power of belief. People have biblical references in the game might catch the notice first because it's widely known, but also a variety of religious ideas can be seen throughout the game. And this just comes to show how much time and effort they put in their studies for the game, and to be able to tell this grand story they envisioned. And with a story as grand as this, and so many topics to cover, I won't be able to cover a lot of the game within this video, but I hope to someday thank you for watching and listening. I hope the game catches your attention and you give it a try at least once. And with that, a quote from the game that I really like. Music is a mysterious thing. Sometimes it makes people remember things they do not expect. Many thoughts, feelings, memories, things almost forgotten, regardless of whether the listener desires to remember or not.